hey, Josh, can I borrow $100 from? Can you donate $100 to Son of a Saint? And then you gotta
It's like, what am I gonna do?
Exactly, yeah.
Oh man, that's smart. I like it.
You like that, huh?
All right, okay, I see how you do. Hi, I'm Josh Owen. As the owner of a video marketing company in New Orleans, I've been on the quest to learn everything I can about marketing. Everyone has a different style, different strategy, and a different experience. Is there a wrong way to do it? A right way to do it? Let's find out together as we make marketing make sense. What's going on, everybody? To make marketing make sense, I'm here with the illustrious Sonny Lee, head of Son of a Saint here, executive director, head honcho.
I'm with you, man. I'm happy to be with you, man.
Hey, man. Well, hey, that's right. You're on our show, so thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Tell me a little bit about yourself and your organization.
Yes, I'm a local New Orleanian that's just trying to make a difference in our community, focused on breaking the cycle of fatherlessness.
Dang. Did you think that up before this? That was perfect. I was like on the money.
No,
wow.
That's it.
Dang, man, that's good.
Well, I've got some. I've been doing this 12 years, so I talk about it every day. But that was a special one for you.
Yeah. I love that. So you got this organization. Yep. It's called Son of a Saint.
Yes.
What the heck is it?
So first, my dad played for the Saints.
Your dad played for the Saints?
Yes.
This whole time.
So
you keep that under wraps now.
So in the name, that's what I always tell people. It's like I'm Son of a Saint, right? He passed when I was 3 years old of a heart attack. Mm-hmm. And so my life's mission is to support boys who are growing up without their dads. Mm. And I know that it's really challenging during your adolescent years. Mm-hmm. And so boys join our program around age 10, and they're with us till they're 21 long-term, preventative. And so we just have so much stuff that we do for them, and supporting them where they are. So we have mental health services. We have education coordination. We have travel. We have mentorship. We have over 30 group activities a month. So it's actually a big operation. It's not like a mentorship group where we just pair somebody with a mentor and that's it, right? The mentors aren't really equipped to handle high needs kids a lot of times if you just do that without all the other wraparound services. Right. So.
Nice. Yeah, because that kind of was like that wasn't always, you kind of built that over time. That wasn't always where you guys were, but over time you've kind of been adding on to it and growing and almost perfecting the sauce, so to speak.
Yeah, so all of the pieces of our logic model, there's like 8 things. All the pieces were always there, but some of the, it looked maybe a little different. So I'll give you an example, travel. Whereas travel, I may take 8 to 10 boys to the beach for the first time, right? Now we're able to have relationships with camps across the country where our boys go over the summer. So travel was always there, but now it's just more robust, like you said. So mental health, we used to partner with a mental health agency for our boys, but our boys would miss counseling sessions, things like that. So we brought it in-house, right? So it's just, like you said, perfecting it. But a lot of those pieces were always a part of the organization initially.
Right. And it's kind of like having that figured out. Once you figure that out, that's where you can really start to scale from there and
absolutely
grow the organization.
Absolutely. And like right now, as far as scaling, it's looking at what participation looks like for our boys. Like for so long, we wanted our boys to do everything.
Yeah.
That's part of our logic model, right? Where now you can ease up a little bit, right? And say, okay, you've got a mentor, you're part of our education piece, like, okay, you're a Son of a Saint boy, and it may change in a year where you need other pieces of our organization to get you past something, you know?
Right.
So therefore, you're able to take more boys into the program, and I think we're ripe for that right now.
Yeah.
Because of the number of staff we have on our team.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's great. I mean, definitely we've seen you grow as an organization, and it's like, talk to me too about that experience of really what was that moment that really you saw your exponential growth? Because like, I remember when we first met, we were in that small building, that trumpet building, and you're not that way anymore. Like, what really took you? What was it? What was the catalyst that like sent you guys off?
I think just one growth. At the end of the day, just like right now, it's the growth, keep moving forward, keep pushing ourselves. People are bought into what we're doing because it's effective. And so you've got to utilize those people, right? So for a long time, we had a lot of donors who may have been giving on, monthly or yearly. Well, now let's get a building together, and it's something new, something that they appreciate, right? And are able to give greater funds to.
Right.
So it's just seeking out more opportunities like that. And I just think 2020 was a huge growth for us. I think every like 3 years is really when we see this like large growth, which I think we're approaching now with the number of boys in the program.
Yeah. Because that's a good point. I mean, I remember you talking to me a little bit about that in the past. Like you were saying, like 2020 was like this big year. Like, what was it about that year that really like set you guys off?
Well, I think for a lot of nonprofits around the country, especially doing this work, it was a big year. Social justice movement helped us, but we were already prepared for the intake of kids and funding, right?
Yeah.
We had done the work for roughly 10 years already. So I think people saw us as a credible organization and one that they wanted to give to.
Because it's like you had...
Go ahead.
No,
I just said I think that's what really helped us.
Yeah, because I was going to say, like, I mean, that's so impactful. Like there's all these people in 2020 wanting to like to do something to make change, and they want to put that somewhere.
Absolutely.
And you need to be an organization ready for it. What does it take to be ready? Like you say like you need that 10 years, but I mean, the other thing I like too is like you got to have like the look too. You got to have the packaging. Like
you do have to have the packaging, that's for sure. I mean, you have to have the marketing around it. You have to have the outreach there. So a lot of people, you have to be top of mind for people already. I think that's the biggest thing. When people are sitting around and talking about, okay, what is my company going to do to help support this cause that's a current event going on in the country right now, and awareness is heightening about it. What are the organizations that are in the forefront? And so we have to make sure that we are there. And I think because of our marketing, because of the impact, we're able to be one of those organizations.
Yeah. Well, that's a good point. Like what about your marketing was already like capable of like telling that message? What was it that really sold people?
Well, I think the consistency of the messaging, the words, the graphics, having a great graphics company and scout, but also being extremely creative and looking at what partnerships we could create, like at the airport, right? And, forming that partnership where we were everywhere in the airport, digital ads at pro bono rate, which was great for us. Obviously, we can't afford that, having billboards around that folks gave to us to put in their building, to certain strategic ads, like in the Saints game day ad or program, being in there, commercials, PSAs, social media. So it's just kind of being around, utilizing you all for a lot of that marketing as well, which is good. So it's just, somebody's got to see you in multiple places, but also our staff and mentors being ambassadors for us, which is huge. Our moms being ambassadors for us when they're out. Our boys, they're wearing our shirts, they're wearing our hats.
Yeah.
Hopefully conduct themselves well, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And we communicate that. We talk about that with them and the moms and the boys. Y'all are representatives of the organization. So, don't be flicking somebody off in a car and having Son of a Saint hat on.
None of that going around here. No. I mean, like, one thing that I think you don't get enough credit for either is your organization is so tight with what it does and who it supports. Like I think a lot of organizations get trapped and they try and have they have this message, but then they want to do this, they want to add this. But you've done a really good job of you add things on, but you add things around that central core. Absolutely. Around the boys, and it's always about the boys. We're just growing the boys, and we're going deep, not wide. I feel like everybody tries to go wide, whereas you try and go deep.
Interesting. Yeah. No, that's facts. I mean, I know that prevention is the lane that we're in, right? So, in long term. So, like those two things. So, if a boy is 15, is troubled and comes to us, unfortunately, he's too old to join the program. Now, we have to refer him to another organization, right? And some people may be like, oh, well, you could turn away at 50. We're not turning them away. We're still giving them the resources. It's just our intake is age 10 to 12, right? There's enough boys within that intake point,
right,
to fill up. Be thousands of kids.
Yeah.
So alone, that is, and we just know that that's most effective. And for us as an organization, that is in our operations, that's best for us as an organization. I think, it's somebody may say, what people you want to help. I had a meeting the other day and he's like, oh, I want to help, age 5 to 25. That's great, but that's a large group. Like, how are you gonna?
Needs,
I mean, it's different needs. You're gonna have different staff. I mean, and it could be a lighter touch, and maybe you can do that. But if you're trying to go as deep, it's gonna be a much harder task, and to operationalize.
Yeah. Well, I mean, not only that, but for the public looking to like donate, like, I think that's another thing when that 2020 comes around, like they understood you. They like, these are people that want to get into this thing all of a sudden. They need something that they can understand quickly. And you just make sense right off the get. Like they know what you're about. They know what you want. So from a marketing perspective, you're already ready to be able to be accepted. Like they're already like, okay, let's hone in. Let's really, I want to support this organization. So that's just like a huge, and from my eyes too, like such a reason for so much easy and access of success for you all. I think. Yeah. But no, I mean, I think it's warranted. I mean, talking to, on that same front, I know it's not always all roses, are there some struggles that you still, deal with?
Yeah. I mean, there's perception about the organization, right? Maybe that we don't take that 15-year-old, right? And somebody may get upset, oh, they didn't take my kid, or it didn't. And it's like, we're still referring, we're still, we've got to do what's best for our organization and our motto. I also think, fundraising is a beast. And when you're a nonprofit, that's your gas. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like that's your fuel to do everything. And we could focus so much on our expenses, but we're going to be in trouble if we don't focus on the money coming in, And so that is a lot of my focus, and the CEO of most nonprofits or executive directors is that. And, you have people who have their opinions that do have the money, and you have to navigate those, and you have to be firm in who you are and not adjust to everybody or the dollar, right? You have to be true to who you are and your philosophies around it. So that could be challenging. Growing with staff can be, like Generation Z, man. Yeah. It's interesting. Yeah. Interesting group.
Yeah, you've been getting a little,
we deal with young people,
yeah.
So young people come on, and I get it, but I'm come from a more traditional office environment,
Don't get too old now. Son, I'm
42.
You gotta get with it still.
It's all good.
You got kids coming in. You gotta show them the way.
I get it, man. I try to get Jordans and stuff. Try to be cool like my kids. It's funny. I bought a pair. I thought they were Jordans. They weren't.
Oh my god.
I didn't tell that story. That was a long time. Don't worry about it. That was a long time ago.
How did you find out that they
were all black? And I just thought it was. I guess I didn't see the logo. It was a long story, but this was back in like 2014, 15. I was trying to be cool, but they're like, Mr. Sonny, it's not Jordan. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Oh no, you wore them out, and that's how you find out. That's even the worst. You gotta
it's all good. I've come back from that though.
Okay.
I didn't buy Jordans growing up. I wasn't spending all that money on those type of shoes.
You were.
It's like Vans, Converse, some simple Nikes,
kind of
but not. Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I got you.
But anyway, I was saying Generation Z is like, folks coming in and wanting a director position in a year, right? Or all these expectations, like, well, I hired you for this job. Just do this job really well, and everything's going to fall into place. Like, you don't even have to ask for the next job if you do a good job here,
Yeah.
And it can be hard sometimes.
You think they're not doing like they want to do more or less?
I think it's like with title, right? It's title, it's responsibility, it's respect within the organization without putting in all of the work. Yeah. It's sort of feeling like they know more than they actually do, unfortunately, And it's not everybody. It's not everybody, obviously, but it is a challenge for a leader of an organization. And I have other friends that say similar things, right? So that can be a challenge sometimes. Culture of an organization is extremely important. So really focusing on that. And look, we're in the line of business where we do a lot of emotional things. And the people on our staff are connected to the work a lot of times because they've been through what our boys been through. And that's what makes them great, right?
Yeah.
And so it's not like a corporate setting where it's
regiment,
you know. And there's a lot of feelings that float around our office, you know, which is, it can be good, but it can be challenging at times too when you are trying to get things done. So,
Well, I mean, it shows you guys are getting things done, whether or not it, you got these other things coming through. I think, you tackle things one step at a time, and it always seems to go in your way, especially if you keep moving forward, like you always say.
Yeah. And sustainability is like I said, it's tough.
Yeah.
Trying to sustain an organization, especially with our budget. And, in a nonprofit, money goes to, in our case, the boys, right? Or it doesn't, you don't just sit on it.
Yeah.
It doesn't come to me. You don't sit on it. It like goes out and you spend it.
Through here anymore?
No, man, no. I only got like 2 pair. Don't worry.
Okay.
But
only 2 pairs.
But seriously, you don't. In a nonprofit, they say hold 3 to 6 months of operating, right?
Yeah.
But how do you start an endowment if you're not even if you don't have a year or 2 of operating? So like there's these things that can be a little tough. When you talk about like sustainability and earned revenue, like we are, for us, it's just completely free for the boy, for the mom, for everybody around. Yeah. So it's not like we have earned revenue.
Yeah.
It's just all, hey, Josh, can I borrow $100 from? Can you donate $100 to something? And then you gotta,
It's like,
exactly, yeah.
Oh man, that's smart. I like it.
You like that, huh?
All right, okay, I see how you're doing. Okay.
So it's just all the time, but also people thinking we're just sitting on a bunch of money, and it's it's because it's success, but it's not facts, and the work is there. So.
Yeah. The work's there. I agree. Well, cool. Well, I think, this has been a great, conversation, man. We're going to wrap it up, but
that was easy.
Yeah. We're in, we're out. That's how we do it,
Wow, okay.
Yeah. So thanks for coming on the show.
Happy.
Yeah. We had Sonny Lee, and we'll see you guys soon on the next one. This has been Make Marketing Make Sense, brought to you by Comfystone. If you need video content for social media, your website, or email marketing, hit up Comfystone at comfystone.com and follow Comfystone on Instagram and TikTok. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.